Alright guys, David here again. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today I'll be going over this multi-area OSPF network environment. Okay. In my last video I showed you how to configure OSPF in a single area. Configurations for OSPF is pretty much the same, right? So I won't be showing you how to configure OSPF today, but I will be explaining some key concepts about multi-area OSPF. Okay, so let's just get into it. Let me just go over this topology real quick. First thing you will notice probably will be this guy here at the bottom. So I have this right here. This is a router and a stick configuration, and so we have a trunk link here for these VLANs at the bottom, and we have sub interfaces connected configured on the router for these for the SVIs pretty much. Okay. And to my left and to my right, I have interVLAN routing going on for the VLANs configured on those L3 switches. And also, another thing that you'd notice is I have different OSPF areas. Okay. I have area 1 here on the left, right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry guys, you might see me kind of looking up quite a bit. It's because I'm recording with my laptop's camera, and I have another monitor right behind that. So that kind of looks like I'm looking up, but we're just gonna have to make do with that. Okay. So pretty much I have area 1 here on the left. Okay. And I have area 2 on the right. Now very important to understand is in a multi-area environment, the backbone, which is always going to be area 0 by default, the backbone does not directly connect to an area. Okay. So like backbone area 0 would not directly connect to area 2. It has to go through an ABR, which is one of these guys right here. So, what is an ABR? An ABR is a router that connects the backbone to a different area. Okay. So anytime you're dealing with a multi-area OSPF, you would always have an ABR. All right. What is an ABR? It's called an area border router. So like in this example right here, it connects area 1 to the backbone, because the backbone does not directly connect to a different OSPF area. Okay. Just make sure you understand that. And that's really the key concept here, is understanding that the backbone would always go through an ABR to get to a different router. Okay. So pretty much, if I were to go into here, a switch, layer 3 switch on the left, and just look at the configs, you can see we have adjacencies with 1.1.1.1, which is this guy right here, which is our ABR. Let's go show IP OSPF neighbor. Just to verify there, we can see our OSPF neighbor. Let's look at the routing table. It's also very important that you know how to read the routing table. Okay. And you can see here that we have this connected route, and we have these routes here. So these routes that have the O, and in front of them they have IA. These are routes that have been learned from a different OSPF area. Okay. And it kind of tells you, gives you the information of how we're learning those routes. Okay. Excuse me. But yeah, pretty much very important to understand. If you look here as well, these are these VLAN or these networks, right? 192.168.30.0 and 40.0, which are on the other side here, right? We're learning that from this guy right here. Okay. Because this guy is connected to the backbone, and the backbone knows about that network. So usually the backbone would advertise area 0, and whatever router is connecting to the backbone would also advertise the network that's behind that router. So that way the backbone learns about area 2 and area 1, and the backbone also advertises area 0. Okay. So very important concept there. So when you're looking in the routing table and you see this, you already know it's an OSPF network that's been learned from a different area. Okay. All right, now let's go. Well, actually, so over here we're only, let's do show run SPF. All right, so over here you can see on the left, area 1, I have a router ID and the networks that were network statements or advertising the networks. Okay. Now if we go over here to the ABR, your ABRs usually would advertise multiple areas. Okay. So if I do show run, all right, so this is our ABR, which is this guy right here. Okay. We can see that we're advertising area 1 and area 0. Okay, because we're directly connected to the backbone and we're also directly connected to area 1. Okay. To complete the configuration, you have to advertise both so that this layer 3 switch over here learns about area 0, and also so that it learns and so that the backbone learns about area 1. So it's pretty much acting like the middleman in this scenario here. And the same thing is going on this side. Okay. If we go into the backbone router, let's look at the, let's do a show run here. Scroll all the way to the bottom. We can see that the backbone is only advertising area 0. Excuse me. So backbone is only advertising area 0. I don't actually see that we're advertising the VLANs on this guy. We could do that. We could work on that. But yeah, that's the backbone. So that's pretty much it, right? See if I'll get an IP address here. Just do some troubleshooting and let's go back static 60.3. Try to do a ping. All right, so obviously you can see here that we're not able to get to any of these guys at the bottom because we're not actually advertising that network in area 0. Okay. So what I'll do here real quick, go into the terminal, OSPF 1, put a network statement for put a network statement for the networks. So 192.168. I'm just gonna do 0.0, and also the wildcard mask. Oh, very important. Don't forget your area 0. Okay, what's going on? 192.168.0.0. Router OSPF 1. What's going on? Let's see. Okay. 0.0.255.255. Right. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what I didn't do right on that one, but okay. Now it should be advertising that network. Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's do a show run. Right. Nice. So now you can see that we should now be advertising this, and this is already configured with trunk link for these VLANs. Okay. For this router and a stick connection. So if I go here again, I do that, should be able to get to that computer now. Let's just verify what the IP says over here. I think we were on 60, right? Yeah, 60.3. And yep, and now now you can see that we're able to ping over here after we advertise the network for area 0, since this is directly connected to area 0. Okay, so this is still an area 0 connection, so everything in here right here is area 0. Okay, and that's what we're advertising on the backbone, but the backbone is able to learn about area 2 and area 1 from these ABRs. Okay, so it's very important concept. Backbone does not directly connect to a different OSPF area. It has to go through an ABR. Okay, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for multi-area OSPF. And you might ask, what's the use case for this? Usually this is used for large networks, and it also promotes efficiency. So we're not overloading the router with different routes. It helps to kind of break down the network into different areas, and have one central backbone. Also helps the routers with processing different routes faster, than having just a bunch of routes on a couple of routers. Also helps with scalability of the network. But yeah, it's pretty much. Let me do another ping test from VLAN 10. This is 10.5. Let's go over here. Okay, nice. So as you can see, OSPF is working. Yeah, just a quick video. Let's see how many minutes. Just a quick video on OSPF multi-area, 12 minutes. If you have any questions, you can post in the chat. I'll do my best to answer any questions. But yeah, hope you guys have learned something from this, and thank you for watching.